Hey y'all, it's Sharon Armstrong, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I've been a demonstrator since 1997 and I absolutely love teaching people how to use Stampin' Up! Products. Today we're gonna make this cute little card and it's called a shutter card. I have seen these around and I've tried to figure them out. I was really messing up. So today, hopefully, my tips will help you make one without wasting any paper like I did all morning. So let's get started. So here is the card that we're going to be making today. I thought it was super cute, and as I mentioned before, everybody's been making these and I had to stop and figure out how they were doing it. So I watched a few YouTube videos, but they were all different. So I messed up some paper. So hopefully my way will help you if you want to make one of these shutter cards. Super easy now that I know how to do it. Super cute. Okay, so the materials that you're going to need is 2 pieces of designer series paper cut at 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. You're going to need another piece of designer series paper cut at, well, first of all, the cardstock layer is 3 inches by 5 1/2, and then this layer is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. I have 2 pieces of Bermuda Bay cut at 3 1/2 by 4. This is what the section that was messing me up. So 3 1/2 by 4. I have a belly band that's kind of wide. You could make it however you want. My belly band is 2 inches by 11. And then I have my card base. My card base is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. And I'm going to score it let me move this up at 2 1/8. And I find it easier just to turn it around 90 degrees and do it 2 1/8 again so that you don't have to remember. The other one is like 7 3/8, but this way is just as easy. It's a hot dog fold or a gate fold. You can tell I'm old. I called it a hot dog fold, kind of looked like a little hot dog. You could put a bun, hot dog bun that you could put the hot dog in. Boy, that really dated me on that one. Sorry, guys. Everybody calls it a gate fold. So I'm going to give this a good crisp crease with my bone folder. Cannot live without my bone folder. All right, so we're going to set that aside. So when I told you that I had struggled making this shutter card, it was these 2 pieces that was giving me trouble. I saw different measurements on different people's videos, and so I decided, all right, let's just try this. So these 2 pieces are 3 1/2 by 4. And on the 3 1/2 on the shorter side, we're going to take that to the paper trimmer and we're going to score at 1/2 inch on both pieces. Okay. Then on the opposite side, so this is 3 1/2 inches. And I want to put a mark at grab my pencil. I'll tell you what, I'll do it this way so you can see. So I'm at 1 3/4. I'm just gonna put a mark right there so that I know that's my center. And then I'm gonna turn it the long way. So this is the 4-inch line, okay? So then I'm gonna line up the edge at the 2-inch mark. And I'm just gonna close this and give myself a nice flat line. You might not be able to see it. Yeah, I think you can. All right, so I know that that is my measurement. So 1/2 of 3 1/2 and then 1/2 of 4 inches. So I'm gonna go up the middle to the pencil mark. And you could erase the pencil mark if you want, but guess what I'm gonna do for the video? I'm just gonna turn this piece over and nobody will ever see it. Well, you'll know it's there because you watched the video, but the recipient will not know that it's there. Okay, so now that I have that one done, I can just take the other piece, line it up, use this one as a template, and then cut up, whoops, let me hold that a little bit better. Follow the other cut mark. So like a big banner, the end of a big banner. All right, let's move this out of the way. So again, I want this to be on the bottom. So I'm gonna give that a crease. Okay, and then these two pieces are what's gonna be our shutter. So fun, so fun. All right. Bring this back in. And we have our piece of designer series paper. And when I showed you earlier, I showed you the candle one. I figured out when I go to do this next step, I was gonna mess up the candles. So I decided not to use that one. I'm gonna take my snail, put it at the top and the bottom, because I'm gonna be punching out in the center and I don't wanna gum up my punch. So I'm using a 2 1/4 inch punch. You could use circle framelits. You could use anything you wanted. Whoops. You could save that for something else, for another birthday card. Different design. All right, so we're gonna take some dimensionals and we're gonna put them on all 4 corners, but do not remove the backing yet from the top ones. We're gonna do that kind of towards the end. All right, so I like to dig my nails in, get these backings ready, and let me make sure of something. So it doesn't really matter, but this is gonna be my top. So I'm removing the backings from the bottom. Kind of open this up so you can still see the score lines, but that the flaps are not in your way. And I want to line this up at the top and the bottom and as centered as possible. Okay, so I still have that top open, okay? All right, so now we're going to take our shutter pieces and kind of line them up in the center of the circle as best you can. I don't think it has to be perfect, but just the best you can. And then I've got this edge here, so I've got my fold, and then I have the edge of my banner, my shutter, right at that crease line. I'm going to take some tear and tape. You could use snail if you wanted, but I just felt like, you know, I'll be sending these to my grandkids, and I think they'll really love playing with the card. So I decided to use something a little bit stronger. Whoops. Turn this around. Huh. This stuff is really sticky. It's sticking to my fingers. I like to give that a good burnish so that the backing comes off a lot easier for me. Okay, so I'm making sure that's all lined up. Just close my card. Okay, so there we have that. And then I want to take this piece. Now, on this step, I've seen it done 2 different ways. Let's see if I can show you. One where it actually overlaps, and one where it doesn't overlap. So, totally up to you how you want to do it. Whoops, got my tape upside down. But I kind of like the overlap because it really looks like a shutter. You really want to make sure that these pieces are lined up at the top. Can y'all see that? I've got them lined up. And then I need to remove my backing. Whoops. Probably should have removed the backing first. I'm kind of at an awkward angle. All right, let's do that again. Overlap them, or not, your preference. Whew, sticky, sticky, sticky. Make sure it's lined up. Close my card. And it's not going to be exactly right because I've got that middle piece, you know, but it works. Okay, you can see that. But this is still flapping, so it's a little bit funky. All right, I forgot to mention at the beginning that I did punch out a piece of Whisper White 2 1/4. I used that same punch and just got me a piece to do my stamping on. And I'm actually going to do 2 different, oh, let me show you the stamps that I'm using. Oh, super cute. Perfect, picture perfect birthday. Really a fun set. And I think it's just so many possibilities. And the paper that I'm using is called Picture Perfect Party, and it's just full of fun. I mean, super fun, double-sided. So you've got, oh, look at those cookies. You've got all kinds of patterns and designs and just really fun, bright colors. So these are from the Occasions catalog, 2018 Occasions. So just so you know what materials I'm actually using. All right, so I'm going to stamp a little bow in the middle. I felt like, first of all, I had to find words out of that set that would fit my circle. And I'm just gonna off stamp a few times. I just want a light bow in there. There we go. And then the sentiment says, treat yourself. Now, here's a little trick that I figured out, because basically this has to go in here, but it was hard for me to get it lined up with my hands. So, looking at the top of it, I'm going to turn it that way, and I'm going to put quite a bit of snail at the top. Doesn't need as much at the bottom. And then I'm going to use my paper piercer. Super smart. Little trick there. And then I'm just going to come in underneath, and I want to open up that card and line that up. And I have control until I push down. Ta-da! Little trick there. Because I was having a hard time lining it up. So I was like, oh, how do I get my hand in there? So, all right, so now we are ready to take off the backing for our top pieces. I'm gonna kind of close that and push. Okay, looking good. Now you'll notice that the card stays open, so that's why you need a belly band, because there's dimensionals inside. You can't get it to close all the way. We're gonna decorate the front, and I cut my balloon, I cut my pieces, like I said, 1 7/8 by 5 1/4, and then I cut it to where the balloon's gonna come back together. So if you do something like that, make sure you watch your pattern when you go to put it back on. All right, so this is gonna butt up right against the edge. Hard to center it that way. Let's do it this way. Oh, let's just open it up. That's even easier. I really do like snail because it is a little bit more forgiving. There we go. Okay. Tear and tape, not so much. Not forgiving at all. So now we want to line up our balloon on the other side. Super cute. So it looks like it's one piece of paper. All right, so now let's do our banner. So our belly band, oh goodness. I tried scoring it like on the Simply Scored or on my scoreboard, but I was struggling. I did like 3 1/8, 7 3/8, I don't know. So what I suggest, let me grab my stylus, is to just use the smaller point. You know, our styluses have a skinnier ball and a fatter ball, and just take and score it like this. Don't worry about measuring. It's too stressful. All those eighths and quarters and too stressful. So then you want to give that a good crease. And this was important. When I did it this way, you want to make sure that the top and the bottom are lined up, because it can get off just a hair and then you have a problem. All right, so let's see. Whoops. Put that up. So we're good to go. Okay, a little bit more tear and tape. And I put 2 pieces on. Again, this is going to be something that's going to go off and on, off and on. I don't want my grandkids to break the band. Kind of takes away the fun. Of course, you know, I don't know how long they'll keep the cards, but like I said, I think they'll play with it at first, and then, you know, it'll go wherever the cards go that I send them. All right, so let's make sure that we're good and tight, good and lined up. Here we go. All right, now let's decorate the front. And this was the front that I did on the other one. So to decorate the front, I cut a piece of Whisper White that's 3 3/4 by 1 3/4, because I wanted it to be almost framed on my belly band. Totally up to you. You know, and another thing, if you don't like seeing that belly band, you can just flip this around. You have a good tight belly band. And then that way it doesn't peek out below the Whisper White. Okay, so, whoops, I caught my paper there. Okay, so now let's do our stamping. I am using photopolymer, so I do have my mat underneath, and I'm going to stamp happiest of birthdays to you. And then there's some little confetti stuff, little funfetti things in there. So I'm just gonna add some fun sprinkles and sparkles, whatever you want to call these, to my stamped piece. I'll turn it around. That was Berry Burst ink that I used, and now I'm using Bermuda Bay. I found that I got a little happy with the other one, so I'm trying not to do so much with this, but it's just such a fun little stamp. Okay, so again, I'm gonna put quite a bit of snail because this is a band that's gonna pop on and off. And line that up. And there you have it. Let's put the other one together. So now I have one granddaughter and one grandson's birthday card done. I'll have all the measurements on a blog post dated, let's see, February the 17th. If you want to hop over there and print off the tutorial for these. And hopefully by watching the video, having a printed tutorial, it will help you out a lot. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you guys for watching my video today. I really appreciate it. And if you could give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed my tutorial, or subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it. Hey, share it with a friend. That's even better. Thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next one.